and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, we'll get our Monday meeting called to order. It's good to see all of you this afternoon on this Monday, March the 20th. It's a gorgeous day, a little chilly outside, but nice to be here. We do have agendas at the podium back here if anyone would like to grab one and follow along. And if anyone would like to address the council with public comments, with questions, suggestions, ideas, we just ask that you sign in so that we can have a record of that, and then we'll call on you at that appropriate time in the agenda. The first order of business, besides calling the meeting to order, is a public hearing. We're going to go ahead and go into that public hearing concerning our comprehensive plan, and then we'll pick back up with the meeting and the prayer and pledge and follow along from that point. So I'll turn everything over to you, and let's hear what we've got going on. And I think, Crystal, are you going to be participating in that conversation as well? Or,
no, I think Elizabeth's got it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. Elizabeth, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Back with the Southern Georgia Regional Commission. We've been working with the City of Tifton on this comprehensive plan update for several months now. We are looking tonight to move forward with the transmittal to the Department of Community Affairs. Following the DCA review, which should take 90 to 120 days, then DCA would provide us with any comments they might have on the plan. And at such time that they deem the plan is acceptable, you'll be able to adopt the plan. It is due to be adopted by the end of June of this year. It is your required 5-year update to the plan. And I would like to say thank you to your staff. They've been wonderful to work with. The community has really come out. I see a number of folks in the room that have been here for the 3 workshops that we held and the kickoff hearing, and that really is a great level of participation. I will say the plan, I've written on it somewhat here. I have a copy here. Thank you for the great artwork that your staff provided to us for the front page of the plan. We do have a link on our website that you can see the plan in its entirety. And I guess at this time it'd be appropriate to open for public comment.
Okay. Did anyone want to comment on the comprehensive plan? Julie, you volunteered to serve on that committee, did you not? You were there. Who all was, I can't even remember now, Emily, do you remember who all was on the, or Crystal, who all was? I know we had a lot of local residents, which I'm very, very grateful for their participation. While Crystal's looking through that, the comprehensive plan, for those of you that don't know, is like Elizabeth said, something that we have to do every 5 years, but it's also a way to engage our citizenry and those that live here to decide what kind of community you want. Where do you want residential development? Where do you want commercial development? How do you want the community to look? What are our plans moving forward? As you know, it's just a roadmap of the future for how we want our city to be a productive, viable, strong city that attracts residents, attracts new business, attracts industry. And so your input is needed. So to those that served on the committee or volunteered their time, to, whether you attended one or all of the meetings, we're very, very grateful. Did you find that? Do we have a list of everybody?
I do, yeah. So we had obviously our plan writers from the Southern Georgia Regional Commission. We had a representative from TAGA. We had City of Tifton. The management team all came to most of the meetings, from our police chief, our fire chief, IT, city management. They all showed up to several meetings. We had Cindy Evers with the Alliance for Children. We had representatives from the ABAC Homelessness Project. We had Georgia Power representatives, Abby McLaren, our Downtown Development Authority Director, some community folks such as Brad Cole. We had Mr. Hathaway from the Board of Education, Dr. Tiff from the Urban Redevelopment. We had Dr. Julie Lester, Tom Kugel, Patricia Temper with Tagger, Chris Burchell, Ryan Curry, Cindy Evers, James Horton were most of the ones that came to the meetings.
Wonderful. Okay. Yes, very glad. So thank you to those individuals who took the time to come and be a part of that.
And on top of that, we had 192 survey respondents to our survey that was done on Constant Contact, which is a very high number for a city of your size. So
good.
Great job there as well. I'm available for any questions. I can go into greater detail if you would like.
Council, are you good with just understanding the plan's basically ready to submit. And listen, we love working with our regional commission and
Thank you.
and know that we're in good hands. And with the volunteers that Crystal just mentioned were involved, I know that all the bases were covered. So what's that website if we wanted to go see the digital version?
It's probably a very long link, but it's the SGRC website, and then you go to the, let's see, local government services, planning, comprehensive plans underway.
Okay.
So I can send you the link so you can find
Okay.
it directly.
Okay.
Also on our website, on our
Our website, okay, so on our Tifton.net, perfect, okay. That might be the easier way to go find it.
Exactly,
So,
yes.
so if anyone's interested in seeing that, so, and I encourage you to, because that comprehensive plan is how we make a lot of the decisions that we make. We're required to look at that, and when we are looking at things like are being proposed this evening for changes in development and new development. So that comprehensive plan is the first place that we go, and our Planning and Zoning Commission goes to see how that fits in with what the plans and the desires were for the community. So, so I don't think there's going to be any input or any question or anything, so I think we're good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you for being here. Thank you very much. All right, our meeting is called to order. The next item on our agenda is our prayer and pledge. So if you will join me for prayer, and then after that, we'll stand and we'll salute the flag and offer our Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon just thankful for all the many blessings that you provide for each of us, for our community. Thank you for the opportunity to serve in the role that we serve as elected officials and as government leaders. We ask that you'll guide every step that we make, guide our thoughts, guide our decisions, grant us wisdom, grant us the courage to stand up and speak favorably when we need to, and help us to keep our mouths closed when they need to be closed. Help us to listen and to always put this city first. We thank you for all the many blessings. We ask that you'll be with us this evening as we go forth and do the work of the city. We pray these things in your name. Amen. Amen. And if you will, please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can be seated. Thank you. I do want to note that Councilmember Lester Cromer is not able to be here this evening. So I've asked Josh so he's not sitting way down in no man's land to slide over. And I want to thank Vice Mayor Folk for conducting the workshop meeting when I had to be out of town. We were out of town on Georgia Municipal Association business, and so was not able to be here. So really appreciate you stepping in and handling that meeting for me. The next item on our agenda is to approve the agenda, and I always say Jessica does a good job, but she does. She does a great job in sending all the information out, not only to us, but also to the media that has to be noticed prior to our meetings, and so that agenda was sent to you in plenty of time for that. So I'll take a motion concerning the agenda. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, next we have the approval of the minutes, and that is also in your packet, and that is from the February the 20th City Council meeting, and was there just the one? Let's see, I just looked at this. Just that one. So that is in your packet, so I'll take a motion concerning the minutes.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you. Is there a second? All right, any other, any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Jessica, do we have anybody for public comments? I didn't see anybody sign up. No? Okay, thank you. All right, gentlemen, next we have our consent agenda, and as you know, we can take these three items independently and individually, or we can approve everything all at once. And I will remind the public, everything that we're voting on this evening is discussed at our workshop, and these items were discussed at that workshop that I just mentioned that Councilman Folk read, Vice Mayor Folk. So I'll take a motion concerning those, the consent agenda.
I move we approve all three at once.
Okay.
I second.
All right, thank you. So I have a motion second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. MJ.
second.
Now we're moving on to our new business. We've got three items to consider for new business. The first is to consider an ordinance for approving zoning application PP 22-0056 submitted by Acquisition South LLC for amending the planned development overlay on the file by amending the site plan to reclassify the use of parcel 0045-003A from retail to townhomes. So, Crystal, is there any update or anything on that we should be aware of before I call for a vote?
I think where we left it at the workshop was the discussion regarding the fence. I don't think there was ever clarity of what type of fence would be put up here, whether it be wood or vinyl, or what the final was on that. And I do believe after some discussion with Mr. Davis, that there was talks of changing the, not the total number of units, but the total number of bedrooms for the development. So if it would be okay with you, you'd like to speak?
Sure.
Before Cole says it, just so everybody's aware, Cole and I worked on this, and, you know, we started out with 54 units, 3 bedrooms each, which is 162. And so and from there, it kind of went to 61, but there were more units, but fewer bedrooms, because there were 3s and 2s, and it dropped by like 7. So Cole and I had another discussion. I kind of pushed him, can we drop it by 10 bedrooms? Dealing with the density issue. And so he's agreed to that. So it'd be 33 bedrooms and 31 2-bedrooms. So we'd have 152 bedrooms versus the original had 162 bedrooms. So in essence, you're dropping the number of, potentially, I mean, it's theoretical, people, and it would be there. So tell them how you did that.
Okay, so it's more doors, of course, but again, less bedrooms in total. Is an updated site plan, but on the right-hand side, on the, I can't read that, but on the very right-hand side and on the bottom, so all of those are going to be 2-bedroom units. We're going to pull one of the 3-bedroom units from the top. I believe that's 1 through 18 up top. Each one of those are 6 units in each structure. We're going to take those down to 5 units in each structure and add 3 more of the 2-bedroom on the bottom and the right-hand side layout. And again, that would get us to, so the 1 through 18 would each have 1 of the units coming off of that, making 5 on each structure. And then on the 2-bedroom units that are listed 19 through 34, we're going to add 3 down there. So that would get our total number of bedrooms down from 162, which was the original 54 door. And now that would get it down to 152. Any questions? I'm going to try not to talk any more than I have to.
And I think we talked about the rest of it. He's got a plan for the a wooden fence, and to me, if you keep up a wood fence, I personally like it better than a vinyl fence. They all can deteriorate, so I don't have a problem with the wooden fence that he's got in the plan.
So what was brought up last time is, so from the start, I plan on doing a wooden fence. Somebody, raised the question about vinyl, but it seems like even with the homeowners that were in here that night, even though the question was raised, once we talked about the fact of wind damage from a vinyl fence, that I don't really feel like anybody was opposed to the wooden fence. It was just something that was posed.
All right, and for my memory,
Yep.
or for my purposes, I want to make sure I'm remembering this correctly.
Okay.
We've had several of these. They start
Yes,
running
ma'am.
together after a little bit. It's currently approved for retail.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we denied this tonight, you have the authority, based on the previous approval, you could go in and put
It's permit ready for
storefronts,
retail. Yes, ma'am.
along there. So, so without any change from this group here. So, so something is going to be built there.
Yes, ma'am.
So whether it's retail or residential. Okay. All right.
And based on, drawings that we saw, I mean, I personally think that those are going to look a lot nicer than what they're looking at today, which is the back of these duplexes that are there. Retail brings lots of other issues within itself. So that being said, I'm going to make a motion that, based on the modifications we just discussed, of 30 units with 3 bedrooms and 31 with 2 bedrooms laid out the way Cole just did it, move that we approve this change.
Okay, so we have a motion to make the, to approve the change that's been submitted by Cole Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion, and a second. Any further discussion?
Crystal, that covers everything within what you would need? Okay.
Okay. All right, no further questions or discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and I'm going to oppose. So that carries 3-1. All right, our next item up for business is also under new business. Consider an ordinance for approving zoning application PP 22-0055 submitted by Bohannon Investments requesting to rezone the .41 acres at 814 14th Street from R14 to residential professional, and that map and parcel number is T027185. And again, we've looked at this a couple of times, discussed this. We had an initial application to change that to commercial, and then the owner has come back and asked for us to consider residential professional. So Crystal, any updates or anything on that? That's pretty straightforward.
Okay. I've got a question, Mayor. For
Sure.
the Lowe's, I just asked, your property line that's at the back, does it include, you've got a big buffer of trees and bushes and all that kind of stuff. Is your property line on the house side, or did you include those trees in your property, or where is that line?
The property comes to a point at the east side, and all the trees inside, and I'm not sure about the trees outside the fence, because I would think they're probably right away, but I'm not sure about
Okay. So there's a fence through there that runs along the back of that
Right.
house, and that's your,
That's our
your fence. And the only other question is, do you have parking plans yet for what
No,
would you?
we have to, we got room behind the property, behind that fence, we take down the property that's right on 41, that fence there, and then put parking back there, or we can go to the side on 41 right there on our property, that we could actually put parking there as well.
So you weren't thinking about parking all the way across the front of the?
No, no.
Okay, okay.
There was some question about a fence being built from our property down to the 18th, 14th Street. And we did some initial talking, and everybody, the people we talked to were opposed to that, especially, it said being unsightly and separated out from those.
Yeah, well, and I too had a discussion with, especially the next door neighbor, just asking the question. Because it is it's a major deal to change from a residential zoning to a residential professional, especially if you're living next door. And she actually was not opposed to changing the zoning, but she did make the statement, she and I agreed, it needs to stop there.
Well,
So-
my contention is 41 12th Street, all the way down, to Main Street, is a hodgepodge. It's residential, it's commercial, of some kind or the other. On the right-hand side, on the south side, you have the school board, right there. So, I mean, it's kind of, eventually that's going to be all commercial of some kind or the other,
And it got,
Down the road, I'm not talking about tomorrow.
maybe long past you and me.
Yeah,
But,
I would probably think that.
but my concern is those houses that haven't changed yet. If I'm living in one of those houses, I'd say, well, don't come tell me that that you're going to change it. So that's why I asked about the back line, because it's the house behind there that right now you can't see because of all that that's there. But my concern all along is where does it stop? And the lady that lives next door, they're in the day. We agreed that if somebody bought her house, then change that zoning. Absolutely not. I mean, that's because it does then just go on down. So, with that being said, I move to
Approve?
approve.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion by Jack to approve. Is there a second? All right, so second by Josh. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that carries. All right, the next item on our agenda is consider an ordinance for approving zoning application PP 23-0014 to consider amending the city's land development code for temporary uses for standards for donation boxes. Any updates on that we need to consider before I call for any vote? Any news? Okay. All right, and that information is in our packet as well. So with no new information to consider, let the train go by. All right, I will call for a motion concerning that amendment.
I move to approve it.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, MJ. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Larry, you got a financial report for us?
Madam Mayor and Council, y'all have the summary financial
We do.
in front of you?
We do.
Okay, yeah. Just, we're 2/3 through the fiscal year, and we're looking great. Revenues exceed expenditures. Looking at the general fund first, revenues are $12,325,581, and expenditures are $9,896,321, with the net revenues over expenditures of $2,429,259. That's a good cushion for us going into the last third of the year, because that's normally not as good on the revenue side, so we'll be a little slow on the revenue side. So we've got a good cushion there, so we should still finish positive for the year by the time we get to the end of June. So on the enterprise funds, all those funds are in the positive. Water fund, revenues are $2,932,805. Expenditures $1,649,744, with net revenue of expenditures of $1,283,061. Sewer fund, total revenues $3,396,994. Total expenditures $2,518,935, with net revenues over expenditures of $878,059. And the gas fund, total revenues $4,482,856. Total expenditures $3,908,793, with net revenues over expenditures of $574,062. And solid waste, total revenues $2,745,487. Expenditures $2,127,984, with net revenues over expenditures of $617,502. So all the enterprise funds and the general funds are, like I say, sitting very good right now. So,
Excellent.
was there any questions? I sent a detail on you that y'all could review. So
Yeah. So you've got that in your packet, the detailed descriptive information. Any questions, gentlemen?
The only comment is, the only one that really bears watching is this gas fund.
yeah,
Expenses are above budget, and I think, of course, I don't know if the cold weather's ever gonna end. It seems to end and then come back, end and then come back. We're not gonna have a lot of cold weather left between now and the end of the fiscal year. Won't be much revenue until we got a
right.
close
Gas
look at
prices. Yeah, the gas prices have
expenses.
gone up for this past year. I think what we budgeted, the actual gas prices are like $800,000 more than what we budgeted because of the increase in gas prices. But we brought in an additional $1 million in billing to offset that $800,000 in the increase in gas prices.
I would expect that
so-
if gas goes up, we're gonna charge more.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
So they'll be
Yeah.
a wash, but something
Yeah.
else is in the expenditure.
Exactly. We monitor that the first of every month and change gas prices to compensate for that. So,
Next 3 months, we need to get a handle on those expenditures for gas, because you're not gonna have the revenue to offset them. And if something doesn't change, we'll be in the red there.
yeah, hopefully they'll be coming back down because they can't go much higher.
Hope is not our only strategy. But
Yeah, I
yes,
know
it
it.
could be.
Let me ask a quick question. I know we are knee-deep in budget, maybe nose-deep in budget now. I know that Jack has been on the Finance Committee for some time. I'd like to appoint one of the other council members to be a part of that. I don't know if that's appropriate at tonight's meeting. That was not on the agenda, but since we're talking finances and budgeting and everything, I know we have a retreat coming up the end of the week. Can I do that at this meeting, or would that need to be an agenda item? I think it would be better to have an agenda item. Okay. Okay. Jessica, if you don't mind, at our next, not the workshop, obviously, because well, could I do that at the workshop, Rob, or is that, it's just appointing a committee? Okay. Do you mind putting that on the agenda so I won't forget? And appoint the finance committee. I'd like to have you serve on that committee if you feel comfortable doing that. I think you and Jack would make a good team, and if you'd be willing to do that, then we'll make it official at the workshop meeting. Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments for financial? Okay. All right. Board report is in our packet. Let's see. Tifton Housing Authority. I was thinking Dr. Day was not going to serve again. Did you talk to him by chance?
I talked to him, I sent it to the director, and that she sent it back.
Okay. Okay.
You, sir.
I'm gonna ask that we postpone that because he had talked to me and said that he was not seeking reappointment. So I'm kind of confused by that. So, and I haven't had a chance to talk to them. So if it's okay with the council, let's hold off on that housing authority.
We held off with the other because
Yeah.
it's your call, you're the appointee.
Appointing, yeah, exactly.
So,
All right, and then.
Appointer, I guess.
Appointer, appointee.
we
one
don't
of
keep you
those.
the appointee,
Yeah.
you're the appointer.
All right, and then we have the Tifton Tree Board, and Lori Felton, who has been a longtime member of the Tifton Tree Board and served this community just in an amazing way, is not seeking reappointment, but she is going to stay on until May, as you can see in the report. And then Teresa Willis is not seeking reappointment. We do have an applicant, Robert Todd Green. He has met the board requirements, so I guess, I don't see on here, I guess they have approved him then by meeting the board requirements, is that right?
Oh, yeah, and I've asked them to send me,
And they had
find somebody else. That's why she's actually the chairman right now, so that's why she committed to continue
May.
serving. So if you know
Okay.
of anybody, that's the only application I currently have on file.
Okay. We could go ahead, if you'd like to, we could go ahead and approve Robert Todd Green to fill Teresa's role, or we can wait until next month and see if we have another applicant for the tree board and approve, appoint both of them. So I'll leave that up to y'all, however you want to move forward. Go ahead. Yeah, let's do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, is that a motion?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second to appoint Robert Todd Green to the Tifton Tree Board. Does he not have to be a resident of Tifton?
Not for that.
Not for that board? Okay, I know some don't, some do. Okay. So we have a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Green. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, and then last but not least, Urban Redevelopment, our own MJ Hall, who does a great job serving on the Urban Redevelopment Board, is seeking reappointment, and he must have paid them because they have asked for him to be reappointed. That's impressive.
Hey, I'm not sure about that
I
one.
don't know. That one's a little, no, I'm teasing. MJ does a great job, and he takes that role very seriously, and very thankful for his service to urban redevelopment and all that encompasses, because it's a lot of responsibility. So we have a motion, excuse me, I'll take a motion to reappoint MJ to the,
Motion to reappoint.
all right, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
You'll second? Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
You gonna vote for yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
You know,
Any opposed?
If you don't support yourself, then we don't.
That's right. All right, so we have that has been cleared up. Now, city manager report. What you got, Emily?
Just one quick thing, I highly encourage each of you to go to
The Regional Commission's website and look at the comprehensive plan. Yes, the Regional Commission does do a lot of this, but a lot of staff time goes into doing this. Crystal was the head person for us. She was in charge of rounding up the department heads, telling them what they need. She did an outstanding job, so kudos to Crystal for her hard work in this. This isn't something that should just sit on the shelf and collect dust. This is something we should be using with all of our decisions that we're making. It should be a living document that we're constantly looking back and looking at our goals and different things that we have going on. So I want to thank Crystal for her hard work with this and the good stuff that came out of this. It wasn't a blanket statement. It wasn't, let's take what we did 5 years ago and fit it into this. She literally looked at everything, and we changed from the cover she worked with marketing to separate and having our own plan. So good work.
Thank you, Crystal. Good job. Well, let's give her a round of applause. All right, what else you got, Emily?
That's it.
That's it, all right. All right, mayor and council comments.
I'll start.
Okay.
And usually I'm up here giving rants, but I'm gonna give a, oh, other way, I'm giving raves, now I'm giving rants.
I was fixing to say.
My thing's gonna be about Riley. I had several people call me, reach out to me about their yard debris not being picked up. Usually it's one or two people, you think, okay, maybe they just missed it by chance, you give Aaron a call, and they go by and they get it. This was a couple weeks going on, and I rode the district. I know Emily rode the district. I took videos of it, made sure I had people's addresses. One gentleman called me on Chestnut, and he said, who never calls, and I go to church with the man, and he says, Josh, my yard debris hasn't been picked up in 6 weeks. And, you know, I don't want to hear the excuse of, well, I went and looked and moved it, the grass is dead underneath it. That's not an excuse. I mean, they come to us twice now, I think, asking for an increase. We've done away with curbside recycling, and we had issues there, but now we have true recycling. But anyhow, the convenience is gone. They just have to do a better job. This is getting a little bit much. And Ricky, can you help me? Whatever route somebody's on, like if my trash is picked up tomorrow on Tuesday, my yard debris is supposed to be picked up that same day, correct? Or is it? Okay. Well, we've had an issue here like this.
Just to let you know too, they have brought in another crew, and they are called up, they're starting this afternoon on some of Tuesdays. They are called up as of right now, Mondays, which is the heaviest route. Some of those people live in that north side neighborhood that put dirt debris out, you know, every hour of the day. I won't mention any names.
That would be my district.
That would be you.
Well, that is me too. My neighbor across the street had a big
I
pile.
did speak with them before I got here. They all called up, brought that extra truck in. They're gonna keep it here to try. I don't care if it's Ricky picking it up, Golden picking it up, Ryan picking it up, Josh picking it up. There's 2 times of the year that you're not gonna be on time. Now, usually they're only a day behind. If they're, you know, it's very rare to get outside of a day behind. But this time of year is awful. You have usually 5 people down the street putting yard debris out. Well, everybody's in the yard working. Now you got 10 people putting it out. And so, you know, it is hard. Logistically, it's hard. This time of the year and the following. And, you know, our grinder can attest to it. He says he don't know where all this stuff comes from out in the city that we got. So, I mean, it's not an excuse, it's just.
Sure.
what happened.
Sure.
And to that point, the same thing was going on with Gulf. It just yard debris and bulk, which is why Wes and I had talked a couple of years ago about the city trying to do it. Ricky had it during coronary when we brought it up, but,
Well, even I remember when the
it's
city
tough.
did it, and the city would get behind too,
you
so
get-
it just,
you get behind.
I did it myself. I was over in that department. There's just another way to keep up with it. And also, people will come back right behind you. You look in the rearview mirror and put it out right behind you.
Right.
Technically, they shouldn't be putting it out until the next week of their day. So, you know, that's really a problem too. That y'all might not notice that, you know. They do. They put it out right behind the truck.
Right.
You know, right after it's running.
And I've had people call me and they, well, it hadn't been picked up 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4, you know, they think that's in their mind. So I've told people, call me when it's not picked up that week, call me right then. Don't wait 3 weeks or 6 weeks or however long you think it's been, because, I can't keep track of what's going on yesterday, much less 2 weeks ago. So that's why I always encourage, call me then. Get it
That's the
handled.
way we handle it too. You know, sometimes you have to go do a hot spot. You know, you just get off the route and go do a hot spot and come back to the route.
That's right.
We just encourage, you know, people, call in.
That's right.
Call in and tell them that, you know, hey, this is Tuesday, Monday you didn't pick my yard debris up. And, you know, I'm sure that people take precedence over that, go get it and come back to us Tuesday route. A lot of times you just have to work it out, especially this time of year.
No, I got you. And that's happened before, you know, like I said, 1 or 2 people here, there, but this time it was multiple phone calls.
Look, and I appreciate you calling me too, and let me know. what
Sure.
you want. And I want to provide, I ride routes weekly. So I'm hesitant to say that there's nothing out there 3 weeks unless it is something they can't pick up. What I
That's
mean
the
by
other
that
thing.
is garbage is mixed into it.
That's a good point.
That's the other thing.
I would like to kind of say too, it's all the pieces of the puzzle that fit together. Your normal citizen doesn't understand bulk items on the side of the road versus debris and trash and everything. And it's a partnership with code enforcement, with marketing for education, with Ryland. I have spoken to each of these individuals and each of these partners to say if one failed, we all fail. The citizen doesn't differentiate whether it's Ryland or the city, it all comes back on the city. So as these 2 gentlemen said, I encourage you, if your trash is missed or if something's missed, call in and let us know if it's outside of your normal day. But we are working with other parties within the city to make sure that this is tackled head on as a team, because if one fails, we all fail.
Good point. Thank you. All right, what else you got?
That's it. I just hope they do a better job. That's it. They do a better job.
All right, Jack, you got anything?
They picked up my yard debris today,
Congratulations.
just so you know.
Right.
But
And he's already got another pile out there.
I'm sure she's picked up pine cones. I don't know how these pine cones come from, but Lord, she picks them up every day. So I'll instruct my wife, Ricky, that you said she can only pick up pine cones once a week. Is that okay?
The day before pickup.
The day before.
I'll tell her that and she'll be pleased.
Yeah.
She can put them up by the garage and then work it out once a week.
I'll tell her you made that suggestion. That's all I got.
Ricky, I'd stay out of this if I were you.
She'll
MJ?
call Ricky.
I know.
Trust me.
No comments at this time?
No comments, okay. And I don't have anything either, just want to thank everybody for all the work on the comp plan that, like Emily said, that's a very important document for this organization. And we continue to encourage Emily in her new role. She's moved into the city manager's office and proud to see her there. And she's going to do a great job. And so appreciate the work you're doing. So keep working on that. Anything else to come before the council this evening? All right, well, then we are adjourned. Thank you.